Hello, everyone. My name is Austin Savage. I am the managing director here at 95 Network. As many of you know, this month we are doing kind of a collection of stories of churches that we've had the opportunity to work with over the past couple years. And so today I'm excited to introduce you to Jason Allison, who is a pastor that we've had the opportunity to interact with quite a bit over the past couple years. He actually hosted our first one-day event ever. And was a grant recipient, I think it was last year, to support you with some leadership coaching that you were
I think it was
walking through.
2 years ago, actually.
Was it 2 years ago?
Yeah.
Wow. So,
Dale was not the executive director of 95 Network.
yeah,
He was
exactly.
my coach. He wasn't even the director yet.
Which is so crazy. Okay, so I'm excited for you to share some of that. So, Jason, thanks for being willing to hop on here and share some of your story.
Yeah.
Uh, so, okay, so 2 years ago, you were walking through kind of a coaching session. I guess it was like a year-long experience with Dale, and he kind of helped you identify some things that you were facing in your leadership. And we were just on a call before we recorded this, and he said that you are a completely different pastor now than when you were walking through that coaching relationship back then. So tell us about that.
Yeah. I part of the reason I connected with Dale and with the coaching process and the 95 Network, I started a church, 13 years ago,
Yeah.
and we had been up and down in lots of, just the normal stuff of ministry. But over the last, from now back about 3 to 4 years ago, we had kind of hit a spot where we were stuck and losing momentum.
Mm-hmm.
And, all the signs were headed in the wrong direction,
Yeah.
in a lot of ways. And I
Yeah.
just said, I reached out and ended up getting this grant to get the coaching thing going. And it was one of those things where Dale and I were talking, and I was like, Dale, I'm at the point where I have no new ideas. I have no idea what to do. I'm exhausted, and I'm ready to say, why don't I just go be a mechanic or something? Because I can't
Right.
do this, and Dale, being Dale, just sat and listened and talked and so
Mm-hmm.
forth. And so we just worked through that, and a lot of it was me saying, okay, I need to acknowledge where I'm at, what's going on, how I can, start to find some vision for the church and what that could look like. And even in that, just trying to figure out, okay, really and truly, where is God leading me?
Yeah.
The church, let's set that aside for a minute. What's God doing in and through you? And that's
Mm-hmm.
where Dale really started to, in a way, pastor me,
Yeah.
through this. And because there was a point, I remember on the phone where Dale looked at me and says, "You don't really want to be in ministry anymore, do you?"
Yeah.
And I said, "I really don't know that I do. I have no reason to continue in it."
Hmm.
And he said, "Well, the problem is you still have God's call in your life, don't you?" And I
I
said,
can hear this conversation in my head. Yeah.
I said, "Yeah, I do. I have not been released from ministry." And he said,
Mhm.
"Well, you're gonna have to wrestle that one out,
Yeah.
because that's you can't leave until you're released, and you're not released. So we need to find a way to
Hmm.
get you through this." And
Yeah.
um, you know, that was great. We ended up, having you guys come up, and we hosted one of your first, well, the first ever
Yeah.
vision type day, where we had
Yeah.
several pastors from town come in and hear about what you guys do, and it was wonderful. And even through that process, now we're in the process of feeling some growth. But to get here, we're launching a new campus, but we're also merging with that campus to become we've rebranded everything.
Yeah.
I have a team now of 5 people around me that, are giving energy in ways that I couldn't,
Which is
you know,
incredible. Yeah.
yeah, it's, and our goal, we're doing a grand relaunch of the church here this
Hmm.
coming Sunday. And then the first of the year in 2020, we're launching a new campus down about 20 miles from here.
Yeah.
And then the two will work together as one church, focused on some different things. But I am a different person, I think, than when Dale and I first started talking, because
Yeah.
I have a vision for
Hmm.
what God is doing. I sense where God is moving. I feel like I have some tools in my toolbox to actually make some stuff go
Hmm.
that honestly when Dale and I first started talking, I don't think I had them.
Yeah.
It was, I was spent.
Right.
And that's where, honestly, spending the time with Dale, and then as you came on board, and we
Mm-hmm.
were able to just talk about even other stuff, just there was something in the ministry that you guys do
Yeah.
that it just put me in a place where I could be open to new movements of the Spirit in
Mm.
my life.
Yeah. So as you mentioned, and thank you for sharing that, because that's a huge encouragement to me. And I've loved seeing your journey, especially this last year, because as you did mention, you're basically going through a church merger as
Yeah.
you kind of merge these two churches together and figure out what's ahead, and which is really exciting for you. And so how has, especially what 95 Network has done for you through the coaching, you're part of what we call our core team, of leaders in our what's called 95 Network membership, and after hosting that event, how has your experience with 95 Network shifted your perspective as you launch this new ministry?
I think the key way it has is it's given me a framework
Hmm.
from which to work. I don't feel like I'm looking at a blank sheet of paper trying to create everything from scratch.
Yeah.
There's a grid that, and it's not a prescription that you have to
Right.
do everything exactly like this, but it gives you just the broad strokes of, well, don't forget about this, this, and this,
Yeah.
and start here.
Mm.
And then once you get the vision down, you get the mission, you get the values, you understand who you are, and then you start understanding, what does it mean to have a discipleship pathway? What
Yeah.
does it mean to develop leaders? What does it mean to have a
Mm.
plan for communication? But I
Yeah.
mean, I haven't even looked at that stuff in in a little while, and I still can remember each of those
Right.
areas that are in the vision box, because I've got the framework now.
Right.
And so I feel, honestly, I feel more confident in just thinking about it. I don't feel
Mm.
overwhelmed with, there's a million things that need to get done.
Yeah.
No, there's three or four
Hmm.
that I need to start with. The
Yeah.
other stuff will fall in place if you start there.
Yeah, man, that's so good. I love it. I love your story, Jason. So to everybody who's watching this, we want to share these stories because Jason's story is just like a lot of other pastors that we've had the opportunity to work with. And as we approach a new year, the reality is we can't do this ministry by ourselves. We rely completely on the support of other people who believe in what we're doing. And so if you are captured by Jason's story or any of the other stories that we've shared, we'd be honored if you would stand with us financially as we approach this new year of ministry. We're really excited about what God's going to do, but we can't do it alone. And so, Jason, thank you for being willing to share your story today. We really appreciate it.
Oh, thank you.